This deck is over 40 years old, and I almost gave up on it. But wait till you see the transformation. This deck is over 40 years old. It's been through rain, sun, snow, and needs a little attention after all those years. I thought it might be beyond saving, judging by the amount of splinters my kids and I were getting, but I rolled up my sleeves, I grabbed my power washer, and I got to work. So I am power washing the deck, and I've already pounded in all the nails, and I'm kind of doing it in stages because I don't want to have to take everything off my deck. And then we're going to rent a big sander, big old sander. So we're going to get the nice heavy one, rent it for a day, sand the whole thing, restain it, and it's going to be great. No more splinters for my kids, but anyway, I hope this is nice and satisfying. First step, power washing off 4 decades of grime. Honestly, this part was incredibly satisfying. Watch those boards come back to life. It is still like pretty dirty. Everything is just kind of sitting on top. It kind of smells like the river, algae-y. Pretty happy with the progress so far, and just excited to get this deck splinter free. It still needs to be rinsed off, but I got all of the baseboard, all of the deck boards, they are all power washed. I'm still going to go through and do both sides of the railings, so I'm not too worried about getting the deck super clean at this moment. But you can already see it's lightening up to not gray, so that's kind of nice. And I think this is only the second time that I've done the entire deck. I did it the first time, and I forgot to do this. So this is a good comparison. So it kind of goes from this gray to this color. And obviously you can see here, this is a replacement deck board that I had to replace because the other one was like splitting and coming up. Next up, sanding. This took time and arm strength I did not know I had, but you can't stain a splintery surface. Totally worth it for how smooth the wood came out. This was very hard to do because the amount and the size of the splinters were constantly ripping off the sanding pad, and I had to change not only the sandpaper but also the expensive foam thing that it was sitting on a number of times. So this project was not without its frustrations for sure. My husband is going to go get more of the foam pads that the sandpaper sticks to, and then I'm going to finish with the 60 grit sandpaper. I might even have him grab more of the other ones too, because this is a big deck. But yeah, the foam pads are wearing out quickly because of the amount of huge splinters that it's taking up. Not like a lot, but it does tend to like catch in certain areas. You can probably see there's like a little piece of sandpaper that it rips off. So, but it is very satisfying and it's not hard. Probably the hardest part was moving it. So that's why I'm happy my husband did that. But so we're just gonna keep moving on. It's like a beautiful day for this. And wearing a mask for the dust. We're not actually using like the dust bag because it is outdoors and we don't really need to do that. But yeah, we just rented this from Home Depot and it's working really well. We just need to get more things. I was gonna do a big drum sander, but my husband was doing a little bit of research, and apparently if you have like any uneven boards, that can really mess with it or like gouge the boards. But at this point I'm like, gouge the boards, okay? I want that board gouged down to smithereens, but it looks great. So this is the foam pad that I was talking about. So this attaches to the bottom of the sander, and then this is where this attaches to. But the problem is that it was really getting ripped up. And it's kind of like a Velcro, and I almost wish this was Velcro, but it's only sticky. So the problem is that once it loses its stick, it's like done for, because then it just comes off. So I wish it was like a Velcro, but I guess we can't have everything. Now for the stain. I picked a rich, warm tone to bring out the natural grain and give the deck some soul. Watch that color soak in. Ugh. Chef's kiss. Got through 2 gallons of the stain, and it's going to take 3 gallons to do 1 coat. But it already looks so good. I mean, this is super patchy because I was kind of running out of stain, but what a difference. And I love the warm like cedar color I chose. Just brings a lot of life back to this side of the house. And it's funny, even this, the power wash stuff, brought so much warmth back because it used to be so gray. But I really love this stain. And we are going out of town. By the time you see this, we'll be back. So I wanted to get this done because I power washed it and, sanded it and then power washed it again to clean it. Because the cracks were just like full of dust, but it looks really good. I think the problem is that the deck is just so old and the wood is so dry that it's just soaking up so much more of the stain than I had anticipated. But no fear, more stain is on its way, and then we're gonna tackle the benches and the railings, but not today. Finally, the fun part. I added planters. I was bringing out a couple of my house plants and some deck chairs. Mismatched, of course, but it looked amazing. My kids love playing on it. I can rub my feet in all directions and get 0 splinters. So this deck was just the perfect project for me to work on, especially in the spring, the beginning of summer. It's just going to be so wonderful to be on. From gray and grimy to warm and welcoming, I'm so proud of this deck rescue. Thanks for watching, and if you love a good transformation, hit subscribe for more DIY adventures.